hands down, when I got my son done, my third dan in 1977. I got my third dan, and it was, if anybody knows about those times, martial arts was pretty brutal. So you just couldn't be given, nobody was just given anything. You had to really train hard. And that was probably the toughest test I had ever taken. I had taken under my instructor, Hector Martinez. And back then, we would do the round robins. You would have to fight every black belt for like 3 to 4 minutes, and there was like 16 black belts. And you could, it didn't matter if you bled, it didn't matter if you got kicked in the groin, it didn't matter. You had to keep fighting, and there was no rest. You went from one black belt to the next, to the next, to the next. And the test was 6 straight days. And Sunday was the formal, they would formally give you your certificate and your belt. Um, and it was 6 straight days. You had one day for just kata. You had to do all your katas. The next day was all self-defense. The next day was, we did judo too, so we would do judo. And then the next day we would do a combination of everything. Then on Friday night was jukumite, which was a light sparring, and Saturday was complete, all full out, full contact um, fighting. So that was probably my toughest test, was my third dan, my third degree black belt. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Glenn?
Also my third degree. I was coming off of, it might have been 6 or 7 months after a broken ankle, and I was still hobbling around. I'd worked, and it was a Saturday morning. I'd worked the night before. I hadn't eaten anything yet, and Professor Black called me. I was just getting ready to go to sleep. It might have been 9 in the morning, and I haven't slept, I haven't eaten, I'm exhausted, and I'm getting ready to just pass out. My phone rings. I used to sleep with it on my bed, and yeah, hello, sir. He's like, oh yeah, let's brother. Listen, come on down to the dojo. Bring your gi. I'm like, sir, I worked last night. I got work tonight. I haven't eaten. Yeah, okay, brother. And he hangs up on me. So when I show up and I walk in and I see everybody that's there, there's 2 brown belts, a couple of black belts, and then like the main instructors, Grandmaster Stone, Professor Black, Soki Kane, and Professor Byron Herlock. And I walk in and I go, God, this is and I knew right away it was a test. They were like, go change up. There was no brotherly hugs. There was get in there and change.
Yeah.
I just wanted to leave. All I could think of was about 100 different excuses. My ankle's still messed up. I got alopecia. I don't know what it was. I'm ready to leave. And I change up. I'm in there the whole time. I just started sweating. I was like, I didn't want to be there. And all the jujitsu techniques, like your dad said, all the round robins. You got to fight everybody. All the techniques. You're getting thrown 175,000 times. Your body's killing you. I'm still thinking, I hadn't trained in 7 months, 6, 7 months, nothing. So I'm beat, and I'm still thinking I should just walk out. Then when I'm fighting everybody, at one point I'm going to fight, now Grandmaster Stone, and he was an older man and had bad knees, so he didn't throw a lot of kicks, and I'm thinking, well, I'll just dance around a little bit, and I didn't even see that kick coming. I didn't even see it coming. It just floored me. It was definitely 1998, 20. What did you say, 77, sir? So
1977.
All right, so 21 years later, I went for my third, and it wasn't pretty. I had a mark on me, like those black Spalding, those black hard paddle balls. I had a mark that looked like that on my body.
Wow.
For weeks from Stone when he kicked me.
Is this around the same time as ODB, that ODB story?
ODB story.
Where you broke your ankle?
Actually, yeah. This is 7 months, literally 6 or 7 months later than the ODB story, which happened. The ODB story was in Staten Island. I had to run a club, and I broke my ankle 4 or 5 days earlier, and had to go to Staten Island with my guys and run a club. Bad business. but ODB was a champion that day.
I don't think Professor Zahalea knows that you studied Sanukis. Did you know that, Professor?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Glenn is a Sanukis guy.
I'm from the Sanukis family. I started out with Sugaroo, and then a bunch of us had moved off, and Professor Stone, Grandmaster Stone, started his own dojo, which we all went to. And Doc allowed him to call it, or told him, look, just call it whatever you want, call it Stone Roo, because he was training. They were all training in Sanukis and had their training from, you know, whatever else they had all done, plus with Professor Cross. And so I'm not first generation sitting in the dojo with Doc, but I could feel his touch through all of my teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's
So I have a question for you, Professor.
What have you? Yes, sir.
I have a question for you. If there's one thing you'd like the public to know about you that they may not know, what would that one thing be?
That Professor Zahalea Anderson, out of Long Beach, California, that represents Sanukishu Jiu-Jitsu, that has Sanukas grown into her own, that is now called Raw Life Defense, that I am always going to try to be at my best, and I stay mellow yet active.
We couldn't tell that you were mellow. I just don't see it. It's a complete lie, and we don't appreciate it.
I mean, I feel like that I really try to be more mellow now than ever, because I know what it is to be like on the other side, you know. Yeah. And especially now with me being a widow, and a widow with now 2 teenagers, I have to really, really pick my battles in life, because it's just 3 the hard way. So I really, I don't give people passes, but I really just be unbothered. I'm unbothered, and but I mean, I think I'm a cool lady. I'm chill, I like to kick back and read and explore, and I would love to eat different foods from different countries. Like, I want to be on my adventure era, and yeah.
Well, they say that, and I kind of wrote something earlier today, and I got to be careful when I say, yeah, I post stuff, because some people have a problem with me saying I post, and I'm saying, duh. But anyway, I like to say that martial artists don't understand that through all the training that we do, the hardcore training that we do, we're supposed to become more humble. We're supposed to become more in contact with our spirit realm. And we're supposed to be more cordial, more less attitudinal. And we're supposed to strive for peace and serenity. And a lot of martial artists have it backwards. They think they train hard and they become more arrogant. They become more braggadocious. They talking about people and foul language and anything. People judge you by what comes out of your mouth. People judge you by how you act. People judge you by the content of your character. And you can throw the highest kick and the fastest punch, but if you're just a nasty, arrogant, egotistical person, to me, none of that matters. All that your attitude outshines that. So, we had another instructor on our show last week, Johnny Tension, and what a humble gentleman, what a kind gentleman, what is such a he thinks he puts people before he puts himself. You're very much like that with your spirit. These are the true masters. And I don't like to call anybody a master, because that puts limits on us when we give ourselves a title. But going towards us becoming that level, towards working towards that level. That's what we're supposed to become: more humble, more respectful, more honorable. You don't wind up talking about people and acting a fool in social media. This is ridiculous.
Well,
Yes,
the thing, I'm sorry, I don't mean to step in.
No, I want to hear what you have to say.
The thing that, so I know what it's like to get talked about, to get my name ran through the mud, and et cetera, and it's not a good feeling, because I know my truth and I know what's from within, and I had to just take a step back and maybe just understand that that person, or whatever chapter we walked in on, that we're, in this, whatever chapter we're on together, that person may have a lot of things going on and doesn't know how to separate the emotions. You know what I mean? And like I said, I feel that sometimes people think they know what they're doing. I think sometimes people may not know what they're doing, but they don't want to say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always feeling that when people talk about others, it's because it's an insecurity that they have from within.
Yeah.
When people want to talk smack about somebody's technique or whatever they posting or whatnot, maybe it's something from within that they can't figure out what's going on. Listen, I don't talk about anybody because I know I got stuff going on.
Right.
To a point where I'm trying to grow and become a better Zahalea, a better mother, just a whole better being, that I don't have the energy to downgrade somebody who might be on the same journey of trying to improve. Now, the balance of life, there are some people that are going to like it, and there's some people that are going to not. And that's the balance. There's too many people in this world to be wanting to be liked or accepted by everybody. So I took that and made it for me to be like, listen, as long as you're trying your best, and as long as you're living in your truth, and to live in your truth is to do the self-work. If you're not doing the self-work, don't expect any work of an award to come towards you. The self-work is the stuff that when you got to look in the mirror and tell yourself all these truth moments, not what you can just say to somebody to make them see what they want, what you want them to see of you, but you as in you, like the stuff that you don't even want to face. Once you face that type of energy, then you can get to work on what's going on with what you got going on. Now the training starts from within. And the reason why I got a little bit more heated or a little bit more emotional on that is because I've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly of trying to grow as a woman, as a Black woman, as a Black woman living in America, as a Black woman martial artist in a male-dominated world. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't know who you are, everybody's going to come around and try to tell you who you should be.
Wow.
And
Wow.
women sometimes want to be accepted, that they'll take any note that somebody gives them, because they put, oh, you this and that, or maybe this and that, and rub a little arm and yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel I needed to figure out, how to channel who I am. Stand on my 10 toes, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because this is listen, it's not easy being a Black woman martial arts practitioner out here in Long Beach, California, out in the open at the beach, wide open, it's exposed. And we getting to work, and we're training, and we're not just, we are going. So it's like, what is she doing? What you got the police watching me, you got people, everybody's watching. But if I was not brave enough, if I didn't have the courage to exude my truth, if I didn't love myself to be able to be up at where I'm at, to have my students. Oh my gosh, my students. I love them so much. I love them so much because they understand my little bit of craziness that I have. To the point where they enjoy what I express and they believe in me to teach them the teachings that I have been taught. And that's the beauty of it. I will always give gratitude to my students and the way that they move on out here at the beach with us. We are like in a beautiful harmony. And none of that would happen though if Zahalea didn't know who Zahalea was. How do you get to know who you are? You got to get in that mirror and you got to do your shadow work. You got to get in that mirror. You got to work on you. You have to work on you if you expect to have people to be with you. If you want to have people learn from you and you don't know what you're teaching because you don't know how to move from within. You have to be able to love yourself so you can love everybody else. You have to be able to know who you are from within, even the stuff you don't like about yourself. You still have to own it. Own it. And everything will be fine. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've experienced it. I've detoxed my spirit. I have detoxed my spirit to be able to exude life at its fullest potential. And I will always be wanting to grow and do more of that. I'm always trying to shed off layers. I'm always trying to grow, like the animals that shed and they keep living their lives. That's what we got to do too. You know,
Right.
I'm never trying to stay in one spot. I'm always going to try to evolve. I'm always going to try to evolve. And I hope everybody does the same. You know, martial arts is not separate from my life. We here. We are together. I can't turn her off. There's no turning it off. There's none of that. I want to be who I was if it wasn't for Sanukas. And then Sanukas becoming raw life, which is raw life is who I am. Of what I've grown into from Sanukas has reborn me into raw life. But what is raw life? Raw life is an experience. It's an experience that you can come and tap in and live and love and laugh and cry and all of the above. Because it's what? It's everything. It's everything that you need in life. How to breathe, how to listen before you answer, how to listen to when someone's talking, not just wait for you to respond. Like that takes patience. People got to learn more patience. People have to really have an understanding, or else it's always going to be a battle. Well, I'm right. Well, no, I'm right. Or listen, we can agree to disagree. Like, dang, let everybody have their own opinion, but don't disrespect nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Don't respect nobody. You can have your opinion in things. Once you start, hitting below the belt and things like that, like low key, you just gotta watch your back. Because what goes around comes around.
Right.
Karma doesn't just come back on you, it come back on your family. So you better be careful. If you know how the universe works. If you truly know, or if you're learning, because I'm still learning too, but I think I got a little bit of a hold of what's going on how I live. Okay, I'm just living. This is how Zahalea gets down. Okay, I'm not telling you to do what I do. What I do may not work for you. Okay, that's how I teach. I teach my life experiences and I share it with people. I'm an open book, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But it's my balance, and I live in my truth, and I love it. I love it. I love the good and the bad. I can live in my lightness, and I can live in my darkness, especially after my husband passed away. Okay, I can't tiptoe around my teenagers about life. After my husband passed away, there's been so many things that have been transforming and have been happening that I adjusting and adapting to where it's like I can't sugarcoat nothing. I have to get them ready for the real world. I can teach my son how to be a gentleman, but I can't teach him how to be a man. Right? So I have to search in the community and hope that I find a strong community that can help me. Right? And with my daughter, I can show her to be a woman because I am. But then I need, how can I show her how a man should treat her, or what she should see? How should she see it? I don't know what the future holds, in my life, but I'm not gonna just have any old body. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. They're my cubs. I will protect them to the fullest. And for me to be able to do that, I gotta know who I am and what I'm gonna be working with. How do I know who I am and what am I gonna be working with? I train. I train to get to know me more. Every time we do, I call them forms, you guys call them katas, right? We've been doing these forms and katas for how many years now? Forever. Forever, right? Doing the same steps. Each time I do these PIA forms, I'm learning something new. Each time I'm doing these PIA forms, something new comes out from within that I can move on that and take that one move and do a whole another type of energy with it. Okay, it's just not a move to move. Why is that move there? Why was it created like that? What's the transition to get to that strike? Not just the strike itself. How did you get there? What's the transition to be able to breathe through all of this? That's where I come from with it all. I don't know if I'm talking too much,
No,
but
no,
Great.
this is your show. This is you today. This is spotlighting you. I'd like to know something. I'd like to know what's the next. What do you see the next step in your life now? What would you like to be the next step?
I would love for the next steps of my life to have a little bit more comfort. I would love to um, continue to get what is needed. I'm not greedy. I'm no. I've never been hurt. I just want my family and I to be comfortable. I want us to be able to succeed in life and have all the tools that we need to do so. I would love for people who want to see themselves do well be around. I want to be able to just smile more. I mean, smiling gets you far. Smiling will get you far. And it's the simple things in life. It's the simple things in life for me. I try not to be complicated. Simplicity is key, which is Sanukus, so that's what I live by. And then I'm so grateful that I have been able to be brave enough to tap in to what it is. A lot of people, oh, I do this, I do that. And cool, I respect that. I'm not knocking nobody. But I really truly can say that I have put in the work to figure out, my way of my journey with this here. And I'm still learning. Like I said, every time we do these forms, it's never the same to me. It's never the same. And we've been doing it for so many years. Because every time I'm doing it, I'm learning something new or learning a different variation. Isn't what Doc say? One move is 1,000 variations. It's going to take a long time to get all these variations. That's why the journey is always going to be continued.
There's an old saying my father used to use. My father used to smile a lot. He was a smiler. And he said, a beautiful smile hides how dangerous a person can be. And a person that frowns is usually trying to act like they're dangerous. So keep smiling, and you have a lot of admirers, a lot of fans. DAOS is a fan of yours, and we're going to continue to work with you more than what you know. You and I had talked about it, and because we like people with your energy. You have such a wonderful energy, and I wish many more martial artists had your energy, your sincere energy. It's a beauty, inward and outward beauty that people would have to work years to get. That has come through not only through your adversities, but through your training and through your sense of confidence. Through your training, because of your training, and it's a beautiful thing because the harder you train, I believe the more humble you're supposed to become. Because when you're dangerous, you don't want to ever use it on somebody. Because you know through the training, we know what it feels like to go through pain. Right, Glenn? Right, Jacob? We know what
Sir.
it's like to go through the pain. So we don't want to inflict that on somebody. Sometimes when I smile and somebody's getting on my nerve, I smile because I say to myself, they have no clue what I can do. They don't have a clue what
Yeah.
would happen if
And I
thunder.
love that part, how they don't think they have a
They
clue. And,
don't have a clue. I just smile
yeah,
and laugh, and I smile when they tell me that people say things. I just smile and laugh, and I
yeah,
said, and I just say they would never say that to my face because they know.
yeah.
Because
I get a
they
lot
know,
of
just like people will not say it to your face. But people like that we pray for, and we continue to train hard, and we continue to be kind
yeah,
to prove their negativity that is wrong. And that's what DAOS is really all about. We talk about that all the time. I call Glenn and Jacob, and we speak about that all the time. And you got to have any more to say, guys?
I first, let me just give thanks to you guys, for allowing me to be on and express a little bit about me. Like I said, I don't really talk. I really try to just let my work speak for itself, because like I said, I'm mellow, but I'm active, but I do want to share one thing that um about me being a woman in the martial arts. How there was this one story that I would like to share. I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was walking to go teach class, and I got attacked by this homeless man, right? Now, when I was training and I got pregnant, I still continued to train because that was my life then, right? Some, not all, but some women would just be pregnant, stop doing things that they thought they can't do anymore, things of that nature, right? But something from within told me to keep going, just keep training because this is my life. So now, 6.5, 7 months, and this incident happened. But if I wasn't training, you guys, if I wasn't training, what do you think would have happened? What do you think would happen to my unborn child?
Mm-hmm.
So it's bigger than, and to the women out there who think, whatever you're thinking, because I'm not an assumer either. That's what kept my peace. I don't assume nothing from nobody. Okay, that's another thing. And I don't expect anything from anyone. So I don't get disappointed anymore. Because I had a lot of expectations from people. And none of it showed up. So I had to take that away. So you just don't get disappointed anymore. And that's been more peaceful too in my life.